So as I mentioned earlier, I am a digital marketing director for Infinity Digital. Today's presentation is about digital marketing in the post-pandemic world, which is something that's been a bugbear for all of us over this past 18 months. Marketing has changed an awful lot. So what I'm basically going to cover today is what life was like before the pandemic in terms of marketing, what it's like now as restrictions are being lifted, what businesses should be doing now, giving you a real life example as well for one of our clients' UK kiosks, and then giving you some actionable tasks to go away and think about. So, bit of a fact, I did a bit of research and digging into Ofcom, who are the regulator for TV and film, many other media channels. They have actually stated that approximately 4 hours a day on average people are spending on their phones, and twice as many are using video calling. We're currently doing that right now. And also 1 in 3 people use online video instead of TV because of the rise of TikTok, Instagram Reels and things like that. So it's becoming really, really popular, and it's been something that we've sort of been forced to go into because of, you know, the stay-at-home message last March. So it's quite fair to say that habits have changed, and we have identified that there's been a big impact on businesses and their marketing goals. So just gonna go through what life was like before. So to many of us that look after marketing for their business, work in an agency or something like that, things like keeping users engaged wasn't a priority. When I say that, I mean website users. So people coming onto the website, having dynamic content and keeping people on the website wasn't a massive thing that was a priority at the time. Email marketing was put on the back burner as well, and it wasn't something that was considered a priority channel for digital marketing. Having a strategy in place seemed a bit of a waste of time and resource. So putting an actual plan, doing research, and putting that in place seemed a bit of a, you know, we'll just put a post on Facebook once a week and, you know, we'll be fine. So that was the type of behaviors people were going through as well. So I put on here about traditional media like TV, radio, newspapers, and also ranking on search engines was a challenge, but it was progressive and easily achievable before the pandemic. And it's a bit of a different story now. So the question really is, what position were you in before the pandemic? Were you doing these types of things? So something to think about there. I've put this little graph to the side. You may not be able to completely read it. I'm not sure how big it's blown up on your screens, but it's from the World Advertising Research Centre. They've basically put together this nice infographic that's showing the total ad spend globally before and after COVID. And as you can see, the offline channels like TV, radio, and newspaper has decreased an awful lot after COVID. So it's something that is effective, and it's something that I would still recommend personally. But as you can see, a lot of people have kind of ramped up their digital and gone down the with their spending on traditional media. So quite crazy to see, really. So life after, what are businesses in particular, doing in order to use marketing effectively? First thing I'm going to mention is website optimization. Marketers these days, including business people that look after marketing in their own business, are optimizing their websites to include dynamic content like video, animation, GIFs, and things like that. If you've got an e-commerce store, people are also looking to speed up the checkout process, and also giving customers more options to pay. So pay with Klarna has been something that has been really, really big. I think ASOS were one of the first businesses to start it off, but as it's giving customers more options, it's therefore becoming more highly converting. So that's the first thing that people are starting to edge their attention to. Email is another one. Investing time and resource into email marketing to reach customers more frequently, not hassling them or being annoying. It's more creating a personalized approach, offers, and looking after their existing customers, which kind of leads me into brand loyalty and how existing customers have become a focus for many brands, especially the ones that have been in financial difficulty, especially the ones who've been on furlough, had to close down businesses. Brands have been working their very best to look after them. And email has been one of the ways to communicate that. The next thing is inbound marketing, which is a broad term. To give you an idea, inbound marketing could be things like social media or anything to do with search engines like paid search, so Google Ads or Microsoft Ads. Can't be biased to just Google. And it's become more competitive than ever, with more and more people going online and shifting their focus to digital marketing. People have found, I've found personally, it harder to rank clients myself organically, so without ads and with ads, and people are spending more and more and more and more and more. So, question, what do I do now? Taking everything I've said so far into the mix, ask yourself some questions like, how can I make my website more engaging? Can I try putting blog posts up? Yeah, you can. You guys are the thought leaders and experts in your industry and sectors. Write about it, make it authentic. It helps engage users and educate them and increases your credibility as a brand. If you have an online store, are you doing everything you can to capture sales? Email is something I've mentioned before. Automated email is something that you probably all receive in your inboxes. If you've left something in a basket, if you've ordered something recently, you tend to get an email popping up saying, hey, you can get 10% off if you buy now, click here. Very highly converting. Another thing is as well, taking time to do research to understand your customers and how your brand would solve their pain points and how they're finding you. So, using social media, search engines, PR, digital PR is something that's become really, really popular. So some things to think about there. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is, this is a snapshot of an analytics account. It looks a bit much from my Kite UK kiosks. They've been through the ringer a bit, I'm not going to lie, and we've been with them the entire journey. And what we've compared here is the 6th of June to the 6th of July of this year versus 2020. So what you can see in orange is 2020, and what you can see in blue is 2021. Taking into account everything that I've said so far, all the stuff that I've put in place, so this is from practice and learning and just sort of painting your way through it like this and seeing what's working and what isn't. We've managed to increase their users via organic search, their bounce rate, which is effectively, a bounce rate is when somebody spends a certain time on your website and then leaves your website without doing anything actionable, like sending an inquiry or buying something online. So it's decreased in the past year by 99%, which I was quite shocked about. The average session duration, which is how long somebody spends on average on a page, on a website, in particular UK Kiosks' website, has rose by 113%. Their e-commerce transactions grew by 30%, and their conversion rate grew by 243% too. So there's a lot of things here that, because of the dynamic changes of their website and the bits and bobs that we're doing on email, has supported their clients and their customer bases to use their website more effectively. So, some things to think about. Change, grow, and adapt are the words that I'm using. Marketing changes all the time. There's always new legislation. There's always something new to try. So evaluate if your business slots into that. And as you're growing, think about engagement, how you're engaging with your audience, not just your new customers who you want to target, but the existing audience that you've already got to hand. And adaptation, adapt to your customer journey. Adapting to your customer journey means that you think your customer goes from A, B, C, D, E, and then they make a sale. Sometimes it could be A, F, Y, Z to, it could go in any direction. So learn to adapt and be dynamic. So all I say is thank you very much for listening to me babble on and ermine and stuttering and all sorts, because I haven't done a presentation in such a long time. I've put in here just to book a free digital marketing review. But what that basically entails is that we look at all of your current digital marketing channels and give you feedback on what's good, what can be improved, and how we can help you. And we put it into a nice, sexy presentation with a video, and you can take that away, and there'll be some actionable tasks on there, whether that is to use our services or to not. There's no obligation there whatsoever. So thank you very much.
Oh, fab. Thanks, Jacob. That was really, really useful and some really good information given there. So thank you so much for your time and sharing your experience and your knowledge with us. Has anyone got any questions for Jacob? Just while we've got him here. I can't see any in the chat at the moment. And if it's easier, if anyone just wants to come off mute, if it's easier to do it that way.
If you have questions or you come up with questions, drop me an email, connect with me on LinkedIn, drop me a message. Be more than happy to help you where I can.
Perfect. Thank you, Jacob. Okay, we will do that then. So I will circulate Jacob's presentation and his details after today. So you'll have those anyway. Just some thank yous and some really useful information. So thank you again, Jacob. I think what I'm going to do now, as we are a little bit early, I'm just going to do 2 breakout rooms, if that's okay. Just because we have got 20 minutes left, so and I want to use the time as much as possible. So I'll put you into breakout rooms. For those that haven't done this before, you'll just go off into smaller groups just to network that way and get to know each other a little better. So you'll be in groups of 4 or 5, and you'll be in those groups for 5 minutes at a time, and then I'll draw you all back, and then we'll do 2 of those. So just bear with me whilst I set this up. Right, here we are. Okay. So you'll be in groups of 3 to 4, actually. I think that's best. So you'll be in those groups of 5 minutes. And you should get a pop-up in just a moment. And if you can accept it, that would be great. There we are.